Oh my god, I think I can turn on music. Wait, how does that work? I've heard it before, but I don't hear it right now. I shrug. Hi. Wait, is it still going? Oh my gosh, I tabbed out. This is so scary. I've never used this for more than like 30 seconds. Um, Hello, thank you for picking up. Uh, so health update. um, okay. It is hmm, no improvement, but it also hasn't gotten worse. But it also has gotten worse. I don't know if that makes sense. How can I phrase this better? I did not think about this before I started. Yeah, before I dialed your number. The symptom I was having before is exactly the same. It hasn't improved, but it hasn't gotten worse. So that's a score, right? That's another win for Mary. Um, but other symptoms have well, there are now other symptoms where there previously was only really the one. But there's still a win to report in this. The other symptoms in conjunction with the first symptom have convinced me beyond a shadow of a doubt that this issue is not at all related to vocal strain. Ergo, vocal rest has nothing to do with it. And I don't technically need to. I was actually I was kind of convinced that I was gonna do like a proper stream when I woke up this morning. I was ready to go. But as the day has progressed, it's only gotten worse. Uh that is I'm kind of struggling to leave my bed. So this is what you get today. Oh my god, Vox Akuma. I gotta do this. I've never had the chance to do this before. Get over here. How does this work? I have no idea. Whoa. I don't know if you can see this, Mr. Akuma. Whoa. Is this the oh yeah, this is the British experience. Sorry about that. I should have been more mindful before I
Yes,
invited you to
yes.
speak.
Welcome to your first day. Welcome to your first day of British studies. For your first lesson. There are rats in my walls, and I can hear them.
Whoa. Maybe
I
you
can
should
hear them. I can hear them skittering and scratching around all day. Sometimes if I forget to leave to remove any old food from like near the sofa or the floor, I wake up in the morning and it's gone.
that doesn't sound very good. Okay, wait, hold on. I think I've got it. Uh, I know what that looks like. There's a better answer here. Maybe you should take a note from your neighbors in Paris. I think they are cooking. I think they're cooking. I think they're collecting ingredients. So all you need to do
Uh-huh.
is you need to kneel down and let them sit on your head and maybe invest in a hat if you want to keep that your freaky little secret. But then they
Mm.
will kind of puppet your body like a meat Gundam, and they will guide you to the sexiest recipes of all. And then
Now, really,
you'll get the
if you
Michelin fifth
think about
star.
it, if you think about it, really, we're our brains are ourselves, and we are just piloting a giant meat mech that's our body.
Yeah, you're a brain. I'm talking to a brain right now. I'm a brain.
Hello, brain.
Hi, brain. You're one
Hi,
of my
brain.
favorite
What?
brains in this
Yeah.
world. Did you know that?
What?
Yeah, I think you are such a brilliant mind and such a good time.
That's such an insanely thoughtful and sweet thing to say. I'm not prepared to hear that right now. I
That's
think
okay.
think you've got a fantastic brain too. Even though your fans want to send you to Turbo Hell, I think that your brain would go to waste in Turbo Hell personally.
Oh, you think so? That's so sweet of you.
Yeah. Although maybe you could make Turbo Hell better. Maybe you could slow Turbo Hell down into like some kind of an ordinary, manageable hell.
Just a regular hell, just run of the mill.
Yeah, just kind of merge it. Turbo Hell's kind of not really financially viable for a lot of reasons, and it's just not really been worth the investment. We kind of need to do a bit of a merger, do some layoffs on Turbo Hell. Turbo Satan is doesn't really measure up to Rosamy all that much as official Satan. So
Yeah, no, she needs to take his place. She needs to
you've got to shut that
reallocate some
department down. I don't know what
resources.
they were thinking with Turbo Hell. It was a little crazy.
I don't even know if they want to send me to Turbo Hell. I just get the impression sometimes that they just want to beat me up. I don't get it. like like the things they say about
Yeah.
me in clear view, mind you. I don't even have to look for it. They'll just like reply to me directly with these things.
Yeah, I see stuff like this too. Me personally, I find it pretty interesting when I see these strange, unhinged, deranged things that people say. Um, like I don't know. I think I tweeted once about this dress that I saw, and I was like, I'd look good in this dress. And then I saw a bunch of people saying like, I want to take a pantsu shot of him, and I was like, damn.
Whoa,
Okay, cool.
that's next level. They just talked
That's-
about throwing like bricks and stuff at me. I think I'm winning.
You, yeah, I think that makes it. See the idea of you as like the iron bouncer. You stand outside the club and you don't let anybody in. I like the idea of you being stood out the front door, and people start throwing bricks at you, but you don't even budge. You just stand there and like it just bounces off of you like someone punching Superman. Like just nothing happens.
Yeah, I'm the immovable object. That's my job.
Yeah,
Nah, I
yeah.
thankfully I don't meet that much resistance. I got it easy, which is great
He's,
because I think
he's at
I'm
the
a
club.
I think I'm a bit of a I think I'm a bit of a baby, unfortunately. Should I
So if
would
unfortunately.
would that be offensive to you if I spoke in your accent?
Not at all. Not at all. I find it as long as your accent is better than Aya's British accent, then we're gonna be fine.
Oh, I might be doomed. I don't think mine is very good. I should give
Well,
up. It's
Aya's British accent, he's sounds like this. And it's like actually the farthest from an actual British accent than I've ever heard it. Literally, that I think to me feels like I think I finally understand what racism feels like.
oh
Like
my
that's a
god.
racist stereotype to me. I'm like
Hmm.
fully like this is only a caricature. There's
Though in
there's
her
no authenticity
defense,
in that.
I figure from her perspective, her muse is probably more like the ye old medieval town crier rather than like modern day British citizen.
He is
So I
he's very medieval maxed. And as a southerner, she probably is used to being caricatured. Maybe it's all vengeance for that one cowboy ASMR that I did where I was like, how's it going, partner? Hey, you call me you think I'm handsome, sweetheart? Oh my goodness.
I need you
Well,
to do a
yeehaw. Boy howdy.
sequel. I'm tucking my hair behind my ear right now.
Boy howdy. There's a goddamn there's a motherfucking excuse me, pardon my French.
I don't think I heard any French in that string of words there. You didn't say a word of it.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's a figure of speech. I say a word that goes against the mighty Jesus and say, pardon my French. Maybe that's offensive to French people. There's no je suis le, anything like that. I don't know. I once did a southern accent in my sleep. That was really funny.
Do you remember what you said? I still think a lot about my boat is the goat. I think about
My
that
boat is the go.
like that
My boat
that
is the
kind of
go is like
intrusively enters my mind without pause every now and then.
My boat is the goat. My boat is the goat was like that's like a B tier sleep talking. It was good, but it's not. So the one where I had a southern accent, I woke up, I checked my sleep recording app, and it was like it was. I think I remember pretty clearly. I was doing a cowboy accent. I said, Looks like he's not done very well on his mock exam. That's not. He's gonna have to report that to the man upstairs. He's not gonna be very happy about that.
Oh my god.
And then I just went,
Like a
oh.
Sunday school teacher or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to report that to the man upstairs, as though God is like the teacher in this school. And then I just said "ugh" at the end, and it cut off the recording right as I did that.
It's what is
So,
that quote from
ugh.
SpongeBob where it's like, "Who put you on the planet?" Ugh.
You literally, who put you on the planet? Hey, I don't know why he says that. SpongeBob, that's kind of fucked up for SpongeBob to say that.
Mm. Thank you for stopping by, Mr. Akuma. Here,
Absolutely, it's a
in the
pleasure to be
spirit
here.
of Southerners, I'm gonna see you out in the classic Southern way, wherein I slap
Very
my
good.
thighs really loud. I go, "Well, I'm gonna let you go now."
Well,
I
darn tootin'. And
I
as we
know.
would say in the UK in that exact scenario, I will also slap my leg and stand up and say, "Well, on that bombshell," and then I will head out. Thanks for having me, Galix. Make sure you rest that throat. It's a very valuable one.
Thank you so much.
Tell it to
Likewise.
him, Debonair.
Always a it's always a joy to hear your voice. Thank you so much. Okay. I know you're busy. Well, I know you're busy. That's what they say. They're like, "Well, I'm gonna let you go now." Like it's a favor to the other person, when in most cases they're very clearly just like kicking you out. It's the funniest thing in the world to me. "Well, I know you're busy. I'm gonna let you go now. I'm gonna let you go." So silly. Mm, love that guy. What was I saying? Sorry, I got distracted. This is my first like proper Twitter space. The other ones were more like voice tweets a la Shuyamino. Um, so I was too distracted by the allure of a celebrity guest. What has been good in your world? What has been good in your world? Tell me everything. What have I missed? What have I not talked about? Because I haven't streamed the last day and a half. Niji Fest that was announced, right? Yeah, they announced next year's Niji Fest. I'm very excited. I mentioned it in my quote retweet, but I'm very like I'm generally very sappy and sentimental, and probably will be in regards to Niji Fest forever, because this last Niji Fest, the one earlier this year, was the day that By the Beat was first announced and teased to the world. So I'm very like to me that is our beginning more than our debut. And I remember the night that it happened, I remember we all stayed up extra late so that we could watch it together in real time. And we spent the whole night after like scrolling through social media to see what everybody was saying and speculating based on the limited information they had. It was really, really exciting. Uh, so I'm very, very excited to see what kind of events they hold for the next one. I wonder if I'll be able to participate in any as well. And even aside from that, I'm already kind of involved, aren't I? I feel like a lot of people have noticed. I've seen people it cracks me up so bad. I've seen so many people reacting really loudly to the key visual in which I am featured. It's pretty exciting, right? Yeah, I figured that I was probably the only one from By the Beat in the key visual when it was in production. But I didn't actually realize that this time around I was also the only one from EN as a whole. So I'm very proud and very honored to represent the branch in the key visual this time around. I will do my best to to make everybody proud. Yeah, the reaction has made me very happy. It's been really exciting to see what everybody thinks. Mm. What do we do other than scream? Well, I will say I've mentioned it before. This is one of the very first things I ever said on stream, was that I love people who like love things loudly and are very like public or very vocal within their friend groups about the things that they enjoy. That could manifest, like I said, like within friend groups. That could be just having lots of conversations with your family or with the people you know about the things you like, or that could be more like this recent example of just being very proud on social media. I think people that are not ashamed of the things they're interested in especially today, where we're just constantly bringing back cringe and shame culture. I think people that can be unabashedly themselves and who can like things without shame are really cool. So yeah, I know I know I throw out like oh you've been very loud, but consider it as a compliment. I look very cool. You mean it? I feel like that's I feel like that's more than you're usually willing to tell me directly. Is it because this is on Twitter instead of on YouTube? I feel like if I brought this up on YouTube, it'd be like, yeah, okay, pack it up. I feel like I feel like the gap is so different. You know what I mean? It cracks me up. I feel like I described this gap in a recent post as well. I described it as like half of you wanting me to be your precious little guy and to like put me in a little dress and have tea parties with me and just dote on me like I am your baby boy. And then the other half of you wanting to like tie a cinder block to my ankle and throw me into the ocean. I feel like I feel like that's kind of it's almost localized across the platforms, it's or like centralized rather would be the better word. Like I feel like the people who speak to me on YouTube directly tend to be the latter of the two. Whereas the people that speak to me on Twitter can though Twitter is kind of a mixed bag. The people that reply to me directly on Twitter are usually the latter, but then those same people will show up on my FYP the same day like, "He was so sweet today." It cracks me up so bad. I think it's sweet. I think it's sweet. I like this dynamic that we have. I think it's fun. Mm. Mm. Aside from that, because I've been confined to my bed since I want to say like 6 hours ago, I've mostly just been scrolling today. I've been doom scrolling, but also working. There are some things I've had to write, and I'm never sometimes I actually prefer this. I'm never hesitant to do work on my phone, like typing on my phone rather than a keyboard. It's so weird though, because to me, I don't know if you can relate. When you're doing anything important, like business related work, there's almost a more professional aura when you're sitting at a keyboard, clacking away. Like tick, 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 tick. Something about that feels a lot more professional and it almost puts me in more of a work mood. But I can still, I can type really effectively on my phone and I can type really quickly as well. So I don't mind to work like this. Mm. My mom yelled at me though. She was like, "Calix, I need you to stop working. What are you doing? Put the phone away and close your eyes." It was funny. I was like, "I can't. If I don't, I'll be nervous." I don't know if you can relate to that either. I feel like whenever I don't work for long enough, I get so anxious. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I don't know. In general, I've always worked very, very slowly. So in order to counteract that, I kind of have to work a little bit all the time. That's the best way that I've found to keep a good flow of progress going. Mm. Ah, you can't do work on your phone? So you'd like very strongly prefer doing it at the computer in that case? Mm, I see. Yeah, in my case, I think I personally prefer doing it at the computer with a keyboard, but I can still, like I said, I can still get the job done. It's always that phone. It's because you're always on that phone. Yeah. Yeah, that's what caused this issue. I don't know if I articulated this, but I realized I got distracted when I was talking about it in the beginning with my health update. I mentioned that I am very confident that it is not related to vocal strain. I am about 80% sure that I'm dealing with some kind of infection. I don't know what kind of infection. This could be something like this could be a lymphatic response to something. This could be something with my tonsil. But the fever and the headache and the lethargy combined with the pain being specifically on one side of the throat in a separate area from the larynx, that's what that tells me. That's my personal diagnostic impression. However, I'm not a doctor. I'm also, just so that you don't worry or anything, I don't want you to sit around worrying that I'm going to perish overnight and never speak to you again. Just to reassure you, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning, early tomorrow morning. I made that yesterday. So my expectation is that I'll go in and I'll be like, all right, swab me, sir. And then he'll put a cotton swab down my throat and he'll be like, yup, bacteria. And then he'll just give me some antibiotics and then I win. That's my expectation. So it should be fine. In the meantime, though, as long as I'm unable to leave my bed, we'll be kind of limited to this. I fear. I think I'll feel better soon, though. Usually, when it's like this kind of fever, like this mild kind of fever, I'm not too bothered, and it doesn't last for too long. It's usually just like a day or two. And I think I've mentioned before, but it's actually like a guilty pleasure of mine. I actually kind of like when it's this kind of fever where it's like it doesn't actively hurt to have the fever and it's not super uncomfortable. You just can't really get up and move around as much. I actually kind of like that. I don't know. I don't love it and I don't like it, but I find it kind of cozy. You know what I mean? I find it kind of comfortable to just lay in bed and be warm. Oh my god. It's Ookie. It's Oogie. Hi. Invite to speak. No pressure. I think when it comes to these kinds of spaces, if I see another liver, I will just invite to speak automatically. That is just an invitation. You don't have to. Yeah, I just kind of like having a mild fever. You know what you are? What am I? Tell me the truth. What do you think? What am I? It may be different than you think. I don't know. Again, it's not that I like it, I just find it a little nice, you know? Mm. It's not that I wish I was sick all the time or, like, I'm actively wishing I had a fever or, like, when I get a fever, I'm not celebrating about it. I personally would rather not have a fever right now. It's preventing me from doing a lot of stuff that I wanna do. Uh, but I don't mind that I have a fever because I find it kinda, it's kinda cozy. That's just how I feel. It's the same thing with sunburns. That's the other one that usually raises eyebrows for the same reason. I love warmth. I love the summer. I love breaking a sweat in the heat. So similar to liking a mild fever, I also like when I can get like a light sunburn. The kind of sunburn where it's like you put on sunscreen, but you just spent so long outside that you're just a little toasted. And I love to lay in bed in a cold room and just have the heat wash off my skin, just pour off, you know what I mean? It feels so good. Mm. You also like it because you have an excuse to stay in bed? I'm honestly the same. I think I was describing just earlier that I kind of like, I kind of like just laying in bed and that I find it relaxing. That How do I articulate this? Alongside the fact that I also get nervous when I don't work. It's kind of like a forced break for me sometimes, because otherwise I won't usually choose to take the break. You know what I mean? It's the same logic there. It's like because I'm sick I can't work, so I guess I have to rest. So that's kind of nice. I find that comfy too. Why is bro so real? I can't help it. It's just my nature. It is in my nature to keep it a buck. I would love your country summer all year. I've actually thought of that a lot. I really wanna travel more. I wanna see other kinds of summers because I've personally only seen summers in my own home, like my own region. I wanna experience more. I wanna see like a tropical summer just once. Probably just once. That might be a little too much for Elmo, if you know what I mean. I don't know yet. Um, or like, on the flip side, I'd kind of like to see other winters as well. I wanna travel the world. That's one of my goals for next year. This year, I'm kind of locked in and just working from home, but Starting next year, I want to travel more. I want to visit people that live far away from me, and I want to see new places, meet new people too. It'd be really nice. I've always been kind of like locked in to the place I live, confined even. Don't come to the UK. UK and Ireland summers are hell. Oh my goodness. That's two people in a row saying pretty much the same thing. I'll take your word for it. If I visit a UK, will try to do it. Maybe like springtime would be nice. Though I personally, I don't know if this is like Hollywood bias or something else, but whenever I think of London or the UK in general, I always imagine it in the winter. You know what I mean? I always imagine like snowfall and everybody's wearing a nice coat with a little scarf. That's what London looks like to me. Like London feels empty without snow in my mental picture of it. I think it's very pretty. Some of the like the artwork and photos I've seen of London in winter, I've always wanted to visit. Hmm. Maybe some places just have like a time of year that they're best to visit. I've heard nightmare stories from friends in Japan as well of the summer over there. Apparently, it's been really really hot. No matter where you are in the world, I hope that you're able to be comfortable. Okay. Be sure to take the time you need to rest if you're overwhelmed with other stuff. Yeah, I hope that it is in your control to be nice and cool and comfortable. I know that I talk about how I like the heat. I like when it's hot outside, and I love to have a rich and hot summer. But I'm also spoiled by a dry heat, so I don't want to assume that it would be pleasant for others. In fact, I feel like most people I know complain about the summer and don't like it as much. They find it unpleasant. So I hope that if it's been hot for you, that you can be comfortable. Mm. It's the humidity that you can't stand. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that too. That's what I was kind of getting at when I said that I'm spoiled by a dry heat. I love summer and I've always loved summer, but I've also only ever known a summer where it's not humid at all. It's a dry heat, you know. I feel like well, I did actually travel somewhere that had a humid summer once. I don't know that it's like super humid by international standards, but it was humid enough that when I stepped outside from an air conditioned place, my glasses would fog, and that was an experience. I was like, whoa. It's kind of like I don't know if you use a dishwasher ever. I personally usually choose to hand wash my dishes and use my dishwasher as a drying rack, which I don't know if that's like a toxic trait or not, but that's just what I personally do a lot of the time. But there have been times when I would use my dishwasher. It's kind of like when you open it and all that steam just pours out and suddenly you can't see anymore because you wear glasses. Maybe that's just my own perspective though. Hmm. I kind of liked that though, the like that summer. I loved being out. It was nice. It was definitely sweatier than what I'm used to though. Hmm. I feel like I kind of expected it to be a worse response given that I'm spoiled by dry heat. Hmm. All right. Are you a hand washer or a dishwasher, like a machine washer? What do you use? Wait, can I do a poll within this Twitter space? I'm limited by my technology. Okay, hold on. I'm creating a poll, and you're only gonna get 5 minutes to answer it. By hand, machine. I do not wash those. Okay, this might be a little scuffed compared to the way I usually do this, but this is what we're working with today. Okay, do you see this? All right, tell me the truth. How do you wash your dishes? What is your preferred method? I find it kind of therapeutic to hand wash your dishes. or to hand wash dishes for others. Growing up, that was actually one of my personal chores. Chores in the house kind of got distributed and redistributed over the years across me and across me and my siblings. Excuse me. But I think dishes were one that I kept to just me for the longest time because I kind of liked it. I find it, I don't know, similar to dishwashing, I also kind of like scrubbing counters and similar things. I find it really cathartic to have a dirty thing and to just scrub it until it's perfectly spotless. You know what I mean? It feels really nice. Mm. Let's see. What's it looking like? Ah, there are a lot more traditional hand washers than I expected. Is that the truth, or is it because I said that I like to hand wash? Sorry, I feel like I don't know if you take too kindly to me like raising an eyebrow at your responses to these. I just can't help but wonder sometimes when it's different than I expected. I kind of expected more people to go for the convenience of a machine wash, which I get it. I do that sometimes. Like if I'm in a serious rush and I don't have the time to like hand wash everything, but the dishes are piling up, sometimes it's a nice save to, put half of them in the machine and then traditionally wash the other half. That's an approach that I like sometimes. Though I also realize that not everybody would have a machine, right? We only had them in some of the houses that I've lived in. Don't trust us. No, no, no. It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that we've kind of demonstrated a couple times in the past that sometimes you'll just say whatever you think I want to hear. Or sometimes you won't always answer honestly as a result of the way that I've asked a question, I guess would probably be a more fair way to say that for you. I feel like sometimes the answer will not actually be what you personally think. Sometimes it'll just be either what I want to hear or the opposite of what I want to hear because sometimes you just want me to suffer, I guess. Slander. No, no, no. It's been demonstrated. I've seen it. I've witnessed it firsthand. I'm speaking from I'm speaking from experience. Mm. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people that have dishwashers, like the machine washers, still choose to use it as a drying rack like I do a lot of the time. Interesting. I didn't expect that. My people. Esto es para mi gente. So silly. I actually wonder how the dishes are doing. I haven't done them in a while. I kind of split it up. Since I started this gig, I've been more busy, so I've broken the dishes in half. I do half of them and my youngest sibling does the other half right now. But I've been kind of slacking lately. She's always very nice about it though. Mm. She doesn't give me any flack if I miss it, which is honestly a mercy because I'm the opposite. I've always been the type since I was a kid, like if another sibling missed a chore or like neglected to take care of something they promised they'd do, I would make it everybody's problem, not even just that one person. I'd go to everybody else and I'd be like, this guy did not do what he said he was going to do. What are we going to do about this? Mm. Mm. Ah, so Uki, you're like me. You do it depending on the mood and how much you've got to wash. Oh my gosh, Illyra Pandora. I've never had a dishwasher before, but I also enjoy washing dishes by hand. Always done it. Just I think even if I had a dishwasher, I wouldn't use it. I get you, right? It's cathartic. Like I find it relaxing. But sometimes it's the opposite. The way I've described it before is that I like doing my dishes and then a limited number of other people's dishes. But if I have to wash up after like a grand party where everybody has dirtied up multiple dishes and it's piled high, I'm gonna cry. That's a bit too much for Elmo, personally. I like I love to wash the dishes, but I need to have how do I articulate this? I need to have enough space to wash the dishes. If I am pulling the dishes out and putting them on the counter so that I can wash the rest of the dishes, I might as well just give up. It's always okay to give up. No, I'm exaggerating. It's not that bad. But I do find it to be more of a chore when it becomes that much. There are limits. I'm a man with limits. I have limits. Mm. You'd only do it for money. Well, that is actually a valid job. There are lots of people that work as dishwashers for like restaurants and stuff. Though I get the impression that what you mean is that you would never do it for free. It's not that you're trying to become a dishwasher. It's that you would only do that if you were paid. Mm. I'm rooting for you. Life is pretty tough. Unfortunately, unfortunately, I fear that most of us will not be paid for doing our household chores after a certain point. I always wondered what that was like the kids that grew up with allowances that were paid to do chores or like just had allowances for nothing. I had the opposite experience. I don't resent it at all. It's just what made sense for our household. But I was always the kid that like I did more chores than my peers and I got nothing for it because that's just how we kept the household going. It was the funniest thing in the world. Sometimes, like even as a little kid, I was kind of like an old woman in my demeanor in the way that I interacted with my classmates. I was just like scorned by the world, and I'd be like, "Huh, all these kids and their cell phones." It was so funny. Of household chores, you find vacuuming the most relaxing? Ah, vacuuming is pretty relaxing. Yeah. Even then though, I don't tend to vacuum very much. I don't know, maybe I feel like the way I'm describing the way I do chores, it makes me sound like I live in the dark ages or something. But I think we have a vacuum, but it never really sees any use. We always just sweep and mop. We're a broom and mop household. I'm more accustomed to that. There is something very relaxing and satisfying about like running a vacuum over a carpet and hearing all the little and then as you keep doing it, you don't hear those anymore, which means you got everything. Yeah, I gotta yield that. That's very satisfying though. Um, but I'm personally a sweeper. I'm a broom user. What would you do if when you okay, so he said yes would go work. What does she say in that video? I've seen that video of what's her name? Ethel Kane, where somebody said that to her and she what did she say? She says one word in response. She like nods her head. I can't remember. She didn't say work, did she? What did she say? Said yes would go. What did she say? Oh my gosh, it's killing me. Girl, work. Is that what she said? Is that what she said? I don't remember. I don't personally. Oh, does she literally just say girl? Ah. I feel like it was two words then. I feel like I remember the girl and then it's like a pause. What did she say after that? Oh, wait, somebody sent it. Thank you. Okay, hold on. Real, thank you. That's what she said. Cracked me up so bad. I used to love this video. I had a phase with it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't personally follow Ethel Kane, but she ranked up in my like my artist ranking purely because of the aura in this video. Girl, real. So funny. I need to follow her more. I need to listen to more in general. I feel like the stuff that I've listened to just in general, the last 2 years, it's been very restricted and congested to like 7 artists, most of them producers for other people. You know what I mean? I've been listening to like jazz and J-rock from the same 7 or 8 artists and nothing else. I need to branch out more. I need to hear more stuff. I'm flopping. I'm flopping as far as like my musician standards go. I don't know. I don't think you're ever obligated to listen to a lot of stuff, and I think it's cool to find what you like and to just listen to what you like. But I also feel like as a musician, it's kind of your responsibility to branch out and listen to all kinds of stuff if you can. And I don't consider myself to be a true musician quite yet, but I want to become one. Or I want to work towards the point where I have the confidence to call myself one. So if I'm gonna endeavor to call myself a musician, I gotta listen to more music. I can't get away. I can't keep getting away with just looping one song for 2 months. Can we recommend artists that you might like? Yes, actually, some people choose to do this already. They send it through my ego tag, my egosa tag, my ego search tag, hashtag debone miru, and they will sometimes send like playlist links and stuff. I will say I'm personally a bit of a YouTube listener these days, so YouTube links are always better for me. But I do appreciate the occasional Spotify playlist. Yeah, I do always try to listen when someone recommends something, as long as it's not a billion songs, in which case I might just listen to a couple. Um, and I've appreciated it a lot. I've learned of a couple new artists as a result. Kanoe. Have I mentioned that I like Kanoe? I love Kanoe. I really like gosh, Kanoe is one where I loop the entire discography. Like I'll pull up the album and I'll just shuffle it and repeat it. So I don't actually know the names of many of their songs, but I really like the one that they wrote that goes I like that one a lot. That's one of my favorites. It makes me really happy. I like that whole album though. Really, really good stuff. I really recommend Kanoe. Have you listened to the new Senti Millimento album? Yes, I have. It's so good. I'm so especially happy about that first track that was included. I think that was available as a preview on Twitter at one point. So it's really refreshing to hear it as a full song with a proper release. Trying to remember how that one went. I remember the main motif was like aitai. Aitai. It was really good. Kimi ni aitai. It was really cute. Very sweet. I've mentioned this before, but with Senti Milli in general, I've really loved that over the years, the tone of his music has shifted a bit. I think earlier on, when he first started making music and some of his earliest works for like Given, for example, a lot of the songs that he would write were very bitter, very sad. You know, they had a very pessimistic outlook on life and on love and stuff. Songs about grief and heartbreak. But these days, over the last couple years, both his personal songs and his commission works, they've been very optimistic and very positive. They've been about like choosing to live happily and just like really basking in the joys of love and stuff like that. And I just find that really sweet. It's made me really happy to see the tone shift. Mm. Yeah, I need to listen to more though. I need to branch out, hear more stuff. There's a lot that I like. So it's very easy to listen to new things. Because I like things so strongly, the moment I find something that clicks for me, I'm only listening to that. Hmm. YouTube algo rotating the Niji EN covers. Yeah, those are pretty good. There's some really, really good ones. I wonder if I could recommend a couple. What are the EN covers that I listen to the most? Covers rather than originals. Because there are some really good originals that I really like. Maybe I could recommend both. Since we're talking about like recommending artists and songs, I gotta show my cool senpai, my coworkers, my gen mates as well. Let's see. It's kind of funny. The producer for this one's actually in the room among us right now, but one of the originals that I listened to a lot was the one that Albin did with one Camellia. That was really good. I've sung this one before, but I also am a humongous fan of Mushroom, Enna with Keiki. That one's really, really good. That's one of my favorites too. Oh my god, Shu Yamino replying to my tweet with the door hole moment. Mm. But as far as covers go, I'm a big fan of Ringo Mogire Beam was a really good one. Sunny and My President. Oh man. That was a really, really good one. I loved the gap in their vocals for that one. It's really charming. Because I think a lot of the time when you push a duet, uh, the common approach is to find people that have very good blend, like very like similar voices, voices that mesh together in a way that is complementary. But I personally have always been a bigger fan of duets where the voices are as further opposites as they can be, as furthest the opposite as they can be. I like voices that are very different from each other. I think it makes a more charming release, personally. So I thought that one was really, really good for that reason. Mm. I'm also oh, it's so tough. There's so many good ones. Thinking Emoji. I'm trying to think of the ones that I listen to the most, like that I go back to. It's so tough because with covers, I tend to put them on shuffle too if I do listen. I'm not much of a shuffle or a playlist listener, but with covers I am. Uh, Thinking Emoji. My brain is just spitting out original after original. Like all the songs I'm thinking of are from Encounter. I'm flopping. I'm flopping on my Hako Oshi reps. Hmm. I've been asked my favorite for that before, by the way. I think it's tough to pick a number one, but my top two or maybe top three would be better. I really love Solar Dawn, and I love uh gosh, why am I blanking on the Infinity? So I had to replay it from the beginning. I had to go ha 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 Infinity to remember the name of the song in my head. And I love oh man, it's so tough. I'm so bad at picking favorites. I've always been really bad with picking favorites because in my case I just like things in little clusters, you know. Mm. Maybe I could call those two the confident top two though. I don't know which one would be number one among those two, but those are the two that I personally listen to the most. Mm. I need to lock in. Hopefully I can get some covers and originals to you someday. I need to do more. It's very easy for me to do shorts like I've done so far because with shorts I can do every stage of the production by myself, you know, from the audio straight to the video. So I don't have to outsource or go to others for it. But with covers, I'd have a higher standard of quality personally. So I would want to go to others, and that makes it so much more complicated. And for me, because I don't have experience doing that, it makes it a little scary. You know what I mean? I don't know how that works yet. I am trying to learn though, so I should have more for you in the future. I won't confirm or deny anything specific, and I won't give you any clues or any details. But I will say that from the beginning, one of my goals has been to make proper music. I did not get in here planning to do nothing but karaoke streams and the occasional short. So hopefully I can lock in. I will do my best. Give you some more food. Mm. Cyberpunk Dead Boy cover. That was a really good one. The big group cover. I think it was Finana that hosted that one. Was it? Am I misremembering which channel that one was on? It's a really, really good one. Meow 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 meow. It's It's a really good one. Delicious cover. Mm. I especially loved Claude's vocals in that one. I love when Claude sings. He's such a good singer. He's so cool. I love all my senpai. They're all so cool. I gotta work hard. I got big shoes to fill. You know what I mean? I gotta match their energy. Gotta match their power. I gotta turn their punches into power. That's not what that lyric meant, but I'm gonna pretend it is. I gotta lock in. Yeah, I'll do my best. I'll do my best moving forward. Hopefully, I can have more stuff to show you. In the meantime, I will see about getting some more shorts as well. Because, like I said, those are a lot easier for me to do. I'm able to like get the song locked in and then just go through the whole thing by myself without any issues once I start a short. Mm. Mm. There's so many songs I want to sing too. So many people I want to sing with. It's hard to say what'll happen or what will happen in what order either. Mm. My main goal is to sing something with everybody ever. So I appreciate your support. Obviously, that's probably not going to happen. However, I probably can sing with a lot of people, right? Fingers crossed. Mm. Yeah, Bear's new song is really good. I mentioned this on stream the day it dropped, but did you know that he also wrote the lyrics for that one? Mm. It's really, really good. What was it called? Is it I'll Be Fine? Is that what it's called? Am I remembering the title right? I listened to it for a full day or two. It's pretty good. I don't know. I think people really underestimate how difficult it is to write lyrics that sound good. And I was listening to that like, he's spitting? He's spitting fire? Hold on, these lyrics are his writing is fire? Mm. What else have I been what else have I been playing a lot? There's so much. Everybody's so cool. Would I write my own lyrics too? I would like to. I would like to. I haven't shared any, I think. I don't think I've ever done any that like you've been able to hear, but I personally write songs for myself all the time. I say all the time. I write like a minimum of like 2 or 3 songs for myself a year that I never share with anybody and I just keep confined within my audio notes and my notes app. I actually really enjoy songwriting. I think it's fun. I don't have the skills, like the technical skills or experience in a DAW to do any production, like to fully produce my own song, but I do know enough about prose and about well, prose isn't the right word. Prose is more for like non-musical writing, but I do know enough about like rhythm and chord structure and lyricism to do something like a framework of a song. So a bit of a goal when it comes to that, when the time comes that I can finally work on something like that, is to get somebody else on composition and arrangement and maybe top line because I also love writing melodies, but I don't have to. And then either work collaboratively on lyrics or do like all the lyrics because I enjoy that part of the process personally. Hmm. Will I show them? No, probably not. Maybe once in a blue moon if one is ever relevant. But for me, I've described it this way before on stream. It's a kind of a personal thing, songwriting. I realize that may make it sound dubious whether these songs actually exist or not, but I need you to take my word for it. For me, it's like a cathartic process to sit down and make it. And often I will make them about things that I'm more sensitive about. Like I will write about difficult feelings and I'll use that as a way to kind of articulate what I'm feeling. And that way I understand it a little better. I don't know if that makes sense. Because I don't know, it's different for everybody, but for me personally, one of the hardest parts of going through a difficult time is like really understanding what I'm feeling. Sometimes it can just feel like a big blob and it can be hard to really know how you feel or how you're supposed to feel or how you want to feel. And so for me, being limited to the rules and structures of like a poem or of a song, it it's kind of a medium where I'm forced to simplify the idea, and I'm also given a medium where I can articulate a really complicated idea in just a few words. You know what I mean? So it's a very personal thing. That's a big reason I probably won't share much that I've written in the past. But I don't know. Maybe we could do something new at some point. Oh man, I have to sneeze. And now that I've announced it out loud, it's not going to happen. Ah, miserable, miserable. But I will say, there was a one members only stream where we were just jamming for a while, where we kind of had a song going. Maybe we could continue that sometime. Give lyrics to it, assign a proper top line, like give it more structure and stuff. That could be nice. No promises though. I don't want to like set any unrealistic expectation or anything. The feathers are so funny. Every time you do this, it makes me think of Tomodachi Life. Did you ever play that Tomodachi Life on 3DS? Where it's like do 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 boing, boom boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo boo boo doo doo. And the character is like, Calyx's look alike. I just can't seem to sneeze. And then you get a little feather and you go like like you move the feather up and down the nose of the little me to help them sneeze. I love Tomodachi Life. I'm so excited for the new Tomodachi Life. The new Tomodachi Life coming to the Switch. Or maybe it's a Switch 2 exclusive. I can't remember. But I'm so excited for that. I used to love Tomodachi Life. It's such a cute little game. Do you have a favorite part of that game? I liked two parts the most. My two favorite parts, I really loved the concert hall, like where you wrote lyrics and stuff. I think my favorite song to work with was the operatic one. It's like, oh, what have I done? My dreams came undone. Under the setting sun, I cry. I love that one. And then I love, aside from that feature, I loved the random dream sequences. I love when you like when you go to a Mii's room and they're in their bed and there's a little bubble and you click it and you hear like the dong, bing, and they're just like they'll, I don't know, they'll what is my favorite dream? I like the one where they're like worshiping. They're worshiping a random plate of food or a random dessert or whatever, and they're just chanting the name of the food and then like walking in a circle. Um, I like the one where they're driving forever in the woods at night as well, and there's like the little like the dancing, the little hula dancer accessory for the car. My favorite part was doing this to babies. What? Why were you mean to the babies? Why were you mean to the baby Mii's? You gotta treat them with kindness. Someone made an edit of me getting help with the sneeze? Wait, that's so good. It's so high quality. Right down to the side of sound effects. That's so good. Hmm. Yeah, I'm really excited. I've been thinking of playing, if not, like, if I don't wait for Tomodachi Life, I've actually been thinking of playing Miitopia for one of the same reasons I really like Tomodachi Life. Whenever I would play, I would just make all my friends and put them in there and put them in situations. I love putting my friends in situations. And you know, with this gig, I've made so many new friends to put in situations. So it would be really nice to just make a bunch of live Mii's and put them in situations. Same with Miitopia. You know, I love the high fantasy theme. I evidenced that with a very self-indulgent stream. My last actual stream was like drawing by the beat with swords in like a medieval fantasy setting. It's no secret I'm a big fan of fantasy. So Miitopia is like all the joy of Tomodachi Life plus RPG. It's so fun. I love Miitopia. I love that one a lot too. There's so much to play. I've been really interested in as well, like on a kind of similar vein, but still a very different game. Is it called Fantasy Life? I watched Maria play that for a little bit yesterday, I think, while I was getting some work done. I listened in, watched some of that stream. It seemed really fun. I actually played an earlier installment in that franchise. I think it was on the 3DS. I played an earlier installment in that franchise, so it's kind of interesting to see how the game has changed. I'd like to play that sometime too. I really love I don't know, in general, I love high fantasy games that are more serious, very serious, macabre, high fantasy, gruesome vibe. Not Elden Ring. Well, I guess I do like Elden Ring now that I played it, but I was trying to say Elder Scrolls, those kinds of games. But I also really like cozy farm sims that are unrelated to RPG fantasy, just cozy life sim games where you just do your little chores, like where your biggest problem in the day is what flavor of cake you're gonna make for your neighbor. I love both of these categories of games, so I especially love cozy RPG fantasy games where it's like set in a fantasy world with swords and goblins and magic, but also at night in the hotel you make a cake to eat together, or like you do silly things, or you like have plants that you tend to. I love games that are in that very specific intersection of categories, you know what I mean? I love that intersection. Homework game. Yeah, I love homework games, as Frio calls them. It's like, I won't play that. It's a homework game. I will. I'm doing my homework. Thank you very much. I love it. I don't know. I maybe it's the part of me that kind of full circle moment here. We talked earlier today about chores and how I kind of like doing certain chores. I find it cathartic. I find it therapeutic to just mind numbing chores, mindlessly go through the motions of a chore. Maybe it's the same part of me. I love doing like repetitive mundane tasks in games like Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley, you know what I mean? And I love I don't know, I love that being a means to the end of decorating something or getting cool swag for my character. I love swag. I love having fashion. Um so yeah, I don't know. Maybe maybe I can find some more games to play within that niche. I need to play more Stardew. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I saw Sable was playing it, so I don't know. I've got like 1 month left to play through summer if I want to commit to my previous commitment of like I'll play the game, but only when the season in the game matches the season in real life. So that way I space it out a little bit and can play it for longer. Rune Factory? No! But I always wanted to, because Rune Factory is a derivative of Harvest Moon, now called Story of Seasons. The name's changed, for those that don't know. I say for those that don't know, as if this didn't happen like over a decade ago, but yeah, because I love Story of Seasons. Some of my favorite games ever, not just within the farm sim niche, but like ever, are games like Tree of Tranquility, or rather Animal Parade was my favorite. I loved Animal Parade. Or like Magical Melody was one I ended up playing retroactively that I really liked. And Rune Factory is kind of like that Story of Seasons formula, but with like with fantasy elements and I think some combat as well. So I always wanted to play it. I just never did. Are they're still doing Rune Factory, right? There was like a new one recently, or maybe a new one announced recently. I think we talked about this at one point, but I can't remember. I think I've forgotten. Hmm. But yeah, I've always wanted to get into Rune Factory because it's in that niche of like exactly what I just described, right? That niche of cozy RPG influenced high fantasy farm sim. I like that a lot. So I want to get into it. Maybe I shall. Fields of Mysteria. Yes. Oh my gosh, I've talked about it so many times. I love it so much. I say I love it so much. I don't play it right now. I played it the day it entered public beta. Preface to that is that I followed the developers and I watched all their whips for like half a year before it entered public beta. I was one of the true OGs. I was there when one of the only bachelors we had ever seen was I can't remember any of their names. The blonde girl and the guy with red hair that everybody's obsessed with, John Mistria. Um, I was there. I was there. I was watching. I was waiting. And then the moment it hit public beta, I played it. I burned like 13 hours in the game. I just played nonstop. I loved it, even in its earliest unfinished state. I was obsessed with it, and I realized this is going to be a problem. So, like other games that I've experienced this with, I deleted it. I decided to wait because, like I said, it's not finished yet. It's still in development. The system for Fields of Mystery is that they release updates every now and then. Just recently added the update wherein you can date people, you can fall in love and kiss, probably, which is really exciting because the bachelors and bachelorettes are really well designed and very charming. So I'm very interested to play through that sometime. But yeah, part of me still wants to commit to that of like of waiting until the game is totally finished to play it because it's very addicting. I don't know. I get sucked into those games. It's so fun for me. Highly recommend for those that don't mind to play it before it's finished though. Someone made the Tomodachi Mi's worshiping me. Oh, hail the Calyx. That's one of my favorite voice types in Tomodachi Life, by the way. I don't know if you've noticed. Anytime I impersonate them, I do the same one. It's that specifically, I can't really do it very well right now, but that specifically really high pitched, squeaky type voice where it's like, Calyx is looking like. I like that one. Though I'm also a fan of the polar opposite where people will like make it as low as they can, where it's like, I need something to wear. Like super robotic and gravelly. Mm. Yeah, to wrap up Fields of Mystery properly, I as much as I want to commit to waiting until it's totally finished, there's so much in the game now that it might actually be a better idea to just play it and go through a phase with it every time they update it. So, who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I need to spice up my rotation in general. I feel like the last few months I've just been playing the same games and I want to spice it up a bit more. Space the games out a bit more and introduce a couple new ones. It'd be nice. So I hope you don't mind whenever I have these. They can be a bit repetitive for those that are there for every single like stream or event like this. Random event is what we'll call this. But I do appreciate talking about games that are like recently coming out or that people are interested in because it gives me ideas. So I always appreciate your ideas. So thank you. Mm, my impression's good. I do it well. You think so? You think so? Thank you for the praise. Debonair's looking like. It's so stupid. It really cracks me up though. I love Tomodachi Life. Oh my goodness. I miss it so bad. I'm so excited. This conversation is a circle. I just keep going back to Tomodachi Life. I think I need to open it. I have it. I have the game. I just need to crack it open, start playing it again. I don't know if I'd stream it though. I kind of want to wait until I think I want to wait until the new Tomodachi Life drops, personally. Mm, I really miss the game though. Maybe I just need Miitopia. Maybe that's what I need to scratch that itch. Patapon? I've always been interested in Patapon, but I've never played it. I love rhythm games in general though. I'm also excited on the subject of upcoming games. I'm really excited for the new Rhythm Heaven as well. I love Rhythm Heaven. I really want to see if I can get my hands on a copy of Rhythm Heaven Fever. We had it, but I think we lost it. I went looking for it some time ago because I wanted to stream it. I thought about streaming it, but I couldn't find it. If I can get my hands on a copy of Rhythm Heaven Fever on the Wii, I fear I might go a little crazy. I love that game. It's one of my favorite games in history. It has such fun. I don't know. Of all the Rhythm Heavens, I think Rhythm Heaven Fever has the most fun mini games, and I think it has the best remix songs as well. My favorite one is the one that goes, "What can I do? What can I do? Aisuru kimi ni. What can I do? What can I do? Can I do?" It's so good. I remember the chorus in English more though. It's the one that goes, "Won't ever give you up. I won't ever let go." It's so good. Like the funk in the room. Oh my goodness. The funk is in the room with us. And then I'm also a fan of yeah, that's a lot more like me. Tonight's the night right here, right now, I swear. Do, 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 do. So good. I love Rhythm Heaven Fever. Do you have a favorite Rhythm Heaven minigame just from any of the games? I think my favorites are, it's kind of tough. From Rhythm Heaven Fever, I really love cheer readers, like the cheerleaders that like books. Okay, it's on. It's up to you. It's up to you. Let's go read a bunch of books. I like that one. It's really cute. I'm also a fan of it's kind of cute. I really like the one with the rocket that counts down like dum da 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 dum, and you have to like pay attention to how many numbers are on it and the color of the rocket as well. That's one of my favorites too. And then from the entire franchise, I think from the Rhythm Heaven for the DS, I don't remember the name of that one, but the Rhythm Heaven that's on the DS, I really like the Idol game, where like you play as a monkey in a crowd of monkeys that are doing wotage. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hi, 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 hi. Ne e uta ura soyo anata ni. It's so cute. It's no secret that I'm a big fan of idols, so that one scratches an itch for me, and I think it's really cute. I love idols. I love monkeys. I've been so obsessed with referencing that lately. Zali's thing with Lunch Lady. He's like, "We're gonna play Lunch Lady. I like lunch. I like ladies." I think about that a lot lately. I feel like it's infecting my speech. That guy just says things. He's so funny. Fan club. That's Debonaires. I'll cry. Don't make me emo. Melatonin. Yes, I have heard of melatonin. The game, the rhythm game, not the chemical that your I think it's your pineal gland produces. I've always wanted to play melatonin. I've never played it, so if I ever stream it, it'd be a fresh play for me. It'd be my first exposure. I've avoided watching it too because I wanted to play it at one point, but I just kept forgetting. That's my experience with a lot of games. Like I'll see it around and I'll be like, I want to play this, and then I'll put it on my mental list of things I want to play. And then by the time I'm ready to play it, I'm distracted and I'm doing something else, or I'm just playing a Zelda game that I've already played 20 times. I'm very prone to falling into patterns of just doing the same things that I've already experienced because part of me just finds comfort in predictability. I like knowing exactly what I should expect. So I find that kind of nice. Make a physical list. But that's so much work. Oh, don't make me do it. Oh, why? Because if I have to make a physical list for this, that means I also have to make a physical list for all the anime that people have told me to watch that I said I would get around to. And I also have to make a physical list for all the shows that people have recommended and all the movies and all the songs and all the artists. I can't actually commit to doing all these things. Are you crazy? No. I can't do that. I can't do all that. Who do you think you're talking to right now? No, for me, I keep a mental list, and if it's interesting enough to be remembered, then they win. And if I forget, then skill issue, I guess. Nah, it's a skill issue on my part. I feel like even if I made a physical list, I would just forget about the physical list. More than making it, would I actually use it? No, not at all. That's just not how I work. I feel like the way I talk about my approach to a lot of life gives the impression that I'm very organized and systematic in most things, and I can be, but my natural inclination in most things is to be very spontaneous. I don't plan a lot of the things that I do. Like if the mood takes me, I will sit down and watch something for 13 hours on a whim, but I cannot plan a week ahead to sit down and watch something that's 30 minutes. Do you know what I mean? That's just how I operate when it comes to things that I'm watching or things that I'm playing. So no, I don't think I could handle that personally. Even if I made the list, it would not see the light of day. I would not put it to use. I just have to like keep them in my mental rotation so that one random day the signals will fire in my brain and it'll be like, Fields of Mystria. Fields of Mystria. And then it's like all the pigeons from Nemo, but instead of mine, they're just saying Fields of Mystria. Or like insert game, insert anime, insert song, insert movie. Like that. It's kind of like that. I just have to wait. Or I have to wait until I see just the right clip that inspires me, or I see just the right person I admire enjoying something that makes me want to play it too, or watch it too, or listen to it. Um, I just have to wait. I'm raw dogging this life. Mm. mm. Yeah, physical list would just get dusty. I wouldn't be able to put it to use personally. I do love making lists though. The lists that I make are for different kinds of reference. Like I do keep lists on my friends, which might sound very scary when I phrase it just like that in that vague way. When I say I keep lists of my on my friends, I try to keep lists of things that my friends like foods that they like or things that they mention they like. So that way, when the time comes that I should prepare for their birthday or like if I want to shop for holiday season, that way I have a list to refer to because I'm very forgetful with certain things. It's weird because some things I will remember to an inhuman intense level of specificity. Like I will remember the most minute details of a movie I watched a decade ago, but I cannot remember something someone told me in passing one time, or like I can't remember somebody's birthday very easily. So that's where lists become more useful. I use lists to kind of supplement something when I have something that's coming up. You know what I mean? Virtual list or physical list? I'm a virtual list kind of guy. I do love physically writing. I actually used to love journaling. I used to love journaling, but I found that the accessibility of just like keeping it in my phone and having it with me everywhere I go. Like I can write it when I wake up, I can write it before I go to bed, I can write it in the bathroom, I can write it at the airport, I can write it in the car, I can just wherever I am, there it is, and I can add to it, which is great for me because a lot of the things that I put in my notes app are thoughts that I've had very suddenly that I don't want to lose. The notes app is kind of like your second brain, is one way some people put it. They'll say it's your second brain. It's where you localize all the information you can't keep on like ready recall on your first brain, the one that's in your skull. Um, so that's the way that I've used it in the past. I'll have like an idea. I'll be like, ooh, like on the subject of gifts and stuff for friends, I'd be like, ooh, this guy would really benefit from having one of these or would really like one of these. So then I'll write it down. Or I'll be like, ooh, this stream would be a really good time with this person or like this thing. And then I'll write that down. Or it'd be like, ooh, I would really like to see this. So then I write that down, you know? That's how notes work for me. Rather than using it for like, this is the list of things that I need to do or that I want to watch, that doesn't quite work for me because those things are based more on enjoyment. You know what I mean? And in the case of something that is based on enjoyment, I have to be in the mood. If I forget, it's because I'm not in the mood. And my mood is so fickle, it's so unpredictable. It is honestly hard to say how I will be or how I will feel or what I will want to do. Mm. Whereas with a journal, speaking of the benefits of virtual versus physical, with a journal, while it's really rewarding to have it on paper, and it's a really good habit to write physically when you can, uh, it will be confined to that journal. So unless you bring that journal with you everywhere, or that diary with you everywhere, whatever you're writing in it, as long as it's not with you, it's going to be inferior to a phone that you're carrying anyway. Like most modern humans, I am kind of glued to my phone in most cases. Not always though. Like a lot of the time throughout my day, actually, I'll put it down and I'll leave it sitting and I'll just walk away from it. But whenever I need it, I can always find it within a few minutes. Except for when I can't, because this is another bad habit of mine. I'm prone to like putting my phone down in weird places and forgetting to pick it up on my way out. Especially when I go to cook, I'll bring my phone with me. I'll bring my phone with me when I'm cooking and I'll be scrolling social media or like watching videos or something. And then I'll put my phone down and wherever I put it down, it is not a conscious decision. There are times when I'll put it somewhere sensible, like the counter. I could find it. That's an easy place to find it. The countertop in the kitchen. There are times when I'll put it in the fridge and leave it there. I've had people flame me for that. I'll be looking for my phone and they'll be like, "Calix, why are you gonna find it in the fridge? Why are you opening the fridge? It's not gonna be there." And I'm like, "You don't know. You don't know the depths of just how disturbed I am." Just a little peek into my twisted mind. Yeah, I will put it in the silliest places ever. And then I'll spend like 45 minutes struggling to find it. And then my other toxic trait that comes really full force inconvenient here is that I personally keep my phone totally silent. That's another one of my life policies. Uh, Even for work stuff, I have it on silent. It doesn't even vibrate. So if I get a phone call, I'm not going to hear it unless I'm looking at the phone. I don't have notifications on for anything. I do have visual notifications on. So I have a little visual indicator, and if the phone is nearby, it'll brighten up and I'll see that. Uh, but my personal policy is that if I'm not at my phone, I don't need to see things that are on my phone. And since I set that policy, I've lived a much happier life personally. I've lived a life where I'm away from my phone a bit more often. But as a result of that policy, you know, if I set my phone down and can't find it, I can't do the age-old strat of like, "Hey, can you call my phone?" I can't do that. It doesn't work. Um, so that's very unfortunate. That's where I just have to do traditional like needle in a haystack, looking for it without like an auditory clue. Mm. Yeah, I just keep it on silent. I just think it is more cozy. D&D final boss. Yeah, I am the final boss. It won't vibrate. And here's the thing. Uh that's just when I have it on silent. Even when I have it unmuted, it still doesn't vibrate. And the tones that I have set are very quiet. They're very soft. I deliberately edited them myself so that they would be quieter than the usual ones because I don't like the disturbance of like a I don't know, like a loud notification. I only have those enabled for like family members so that like I can respond if there's an emergency or something. Uh, Thankfully, I don't really have to do that pretty much ever. Honestly, I'm very fortunate so far. Um, yeah, the only thing I use the really loud, annoying notifications for would be like work alarms or like waking up alarms, morning alarms. I have the it's reared its head during Pomodoro sometimes. I default to two. I use the default Apple like da-da-da, 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 because that one activates my fight or flight because that's the alarm that I woke up to in the past. Um, that's the alarm that I chose to wake up to when I was in school. And then the other one is a custom one. It's Navi from Ocarina of Time going like, "Hey, listen." Those are my two alarms of choice. Both of them activate that fight or flight like, "Ugh, I'm awake. I'm here. I'm present." Response. Very useful. Highly recommend unpleasant, miserable alarms. I gotta wonder how other people wake up to their alarms though. Like listening to some of the other default alarms. I've seen videos talking about this idea. When I hear like the alarm that goes like do 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 like the really like tropical vista cozy like vacation vibe alarm tone. I hear that one and I imagine someone waking up with a smile on their face and they just like immediately like get out of bed and they do like a happy little stretch. You know what I mean? Or then there's like there's the one that's like an arpeggio on the harp. It's like I don't know how to articulate that one properly out loud, but there's that one. I hear that one, and I imagine someone opens their eyes and they don't have irises or pupils. It's just white, like when people die in Dragon Ball Z, just white eyes. I imagine they open their eyes and there's nothing there. Or like they open their eyes and they start levitating in the bed. So funny. The piano riff alarm. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That was my dad's waking up alarm for a while. Or no, that wasn't his morning alarm. That was one of his work notifications actually, I think. Yeah, it was my dad's work notification for something for a while. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Thinking of someone waking up to that one, I don't even know what to think. I feel like okay, I hear that one, and I imagine they open their eyes really slowly and they kind of raise an eyebrow in scorn or like suspicion. You know what I mean? That's what I imagine when I hear that one. Like I hear the and it's kind of like, who are you? What are you doing here? That's what I see in my mind. Ah, so funny. Yeah, I personally opt for the really scary dun-dun, 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 dun-dun. I don't remember what it's called. Is it called sonar or is it radar? I don't remember what that one is called, but that one, the really high. I think that's the pitch. It's like that. That's my favorite, and it's my favorite because it's my least favorite. Mm. That sound that I kept hearing in my stream the other day. No, I never found out what it was. I tried to investigate too. I looked around, I asked my siblings, and nobody knew what I was talking about. I might have been hallucinating. For those that were not in the room with me at the time, I had a stream like last week where I kept interrupting myself because I kept hearing this sound. And it sounded kind of like the type of notification you'd hear on like a desktop, like a Windows computer, a Windows PC. But it wasn't exactly one. It sounded kind of like Mandela effect Windows notification. You know what I meant? You know what I mean? Like it was like a dum kind of sound, but it was different, and I had never heard it before. And I just kept periodically hearing it, but I didn't know where I was hearing it from. I had no idea where it was coming from. It sounded kind of like it was right next to me. It sounded kind of like it was outside. It was just in the distance, and it was at uneven intervals. I couldn't find any source for it on my computer. I never heard it again after the stream was over. I have no idea what was going on. I have no clue. I don't know anything about what that was. I may never know. I've asked and I got not a single answer. I think I may have imagined it. I have no idea. But the whole day, the whole stream, I was like, "Did you hear that?" I was like, "What was that?" James, what was that? And the voices in my head. I never figured out what it was. It was so funny. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking in the moment too. I think I said that out loud. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm about to get abducted by aliens. It's Ren Zotto. He's come to collect me." Only once. I think the alarm, I'm calling it alarm, like that sound, that tone that I heard. I think I heard it like 5 to 7 times over the course of that stream. After the stream was over, I never heard it again. I never heard it on any other streams. I never heard it off stream. I have not heard it since. I'm not convinced it was real. If I'm being honest with you. Maybe I was sleepy or something. I don't remember the state I was in. I don't actually remember the condition I was in during that stream, but oh my God, I just kept hearing it. It was so vivid if it wasn't real. That's not usual for me. I have a vivid imagination, but I'm not personally prone to hallucinations, thankfully enough. Oh my goodness. I was getting paranoid though. It was so scary. I was like, where's this coming from? At first I thought I had like a program open that I didn't realize or something, but yeah. Oh my goodness. That was a funny day. Hmm. No, my ears are fine, I swear. I swear, I'm in great condition. My ears are great. I take good care of my ears. I've got a like a regular, I say regular, it's like spaced out over like every month or two, sometimes more than two. But still, a few times in a year, routine of cleaning my ears. I don't use Q-tips, by the way. Fun trivia. Q-tips are very bad for you. Do not put them in your ears. It's a bad habit. Q-tips should not go in your ears. I put them in my ears sometimes, but I know how far they can go in before it's a problem. I use Q-tips to clean the outside of my ear personally, like to really get into the little creases on the outside. That's what I use them for. Yeah, Q-tips like cotton swabs, they should not go into your ear. It's dangerous. If you put them into your ear, which is very popular for like cleaning out earwax and stuff, it's a double whammy. It's a bad effect on two ends. Because firstly, you're probably putting it in there because you want to clean out your earwax, right? It's not going to do that. Wrong. You're wrong. It might look like it, like you'll pull it out and it will look like you collected something, but in truth, what that's actually doing is it's pushing the earwax further into your ear, which is bad. So it's like firstly, you're not accomplishing what you're setting out to do with it. Secondly, because it's pushing earwax in there, it's creating a blockage, and that can cause problems over time. That causes it to accumulate in an unusual and unnatural way. And in worst case scenarios, it can actually impact your hearing. Then the third thing is like a secret bonus, like a secret third thing. It's optional, and it depends on just how crazy you are with it. If you put it in too far, you can damage your eardrum. It's a very scary thing. And I hope that I'm scaring you with this right now because I hope that I can talk you out of putting cotton swabs in your ear if you're a regular cotton swabber of the ear. I hope I scared you. Usually I would not want to scare you, but I hope I can scare you a little bit with that if you're the type that does that. It's actually pretty dangerous. Take your hearing seriously. It's no joke to lose your hearing halfway through life. I hope you can I hope you can be in good health forever. It's no joke. Mm. How do I clean my ear? So in my case, like I mentioned, I use cotton swabs on the outside to clean the outer edge, without putting it into the actual ear hole. And then once every few months-ish, I personally choose to do usually the brand that I usually do is Debrox. Uh, in a pinch, you can also use hydrogen peroxide to get a similar effect as long as you use the right amount of it. Just a drop or two is enough. I'll like put my head on my side, like on a pillow. I'll put a couple drops in there. What it will do is it will break up everything that's inside into a very flushable form. And then what I do is I take a syringe, like a plastic syringe, over the sink. I flush it all out with water. And then my ear is clean and I've not damaged it at all. And I do that for both ears. And I do that like every few months. In between that, sometimes I will just do the flush without the Debrox or the peroxide. But not usually. I'm usually fine without. My earwax has always been very manageable personally. But yeah, that's just what works for me personally. Hmm. I think there are other ways to do it though. Like some people they'll use these things that are kind of like Q-tips. They're a similar shape to cotton swabs, but they're actually kind of like a spoon. You know what I mean? It's like a cotton swab size, but it's got like a scooping end instead of a piece of cotton on the end. And they'll put those in, and that will actually collect earwax rather than push it in if you use it correctly. Some people will use these special accessories that they buy, usually on the TikTok shop or some other similar shop. These like vacuums with a camera, because people find it really satisfying to go in there and collect it. It's like more than a hygiene thing. Some people lump it in with that territory of like finding pimple popping content satisfying. I personally don't. I would rather not see that stuff. I think it's all gross, and I hope everybody gets well soon. But yeah, you stay safe over there. But as for me, I will not be touching it with a 39.5 foot pole. Um but yeah, other people will use the little tiny vacuum tubes to do it. Does it burn? No, it doesn't burn at all. The process that I do, it doesn't burn at all. It is a little ticklish sometimes because you'll hear it like sizzling as it does its thing. But yeah, yeah, it doesn't really do much more than tickle if you're doing it right. Again, you should only really use like 1 or 2 drops. That's all you need. Anything else in it will actually cause more problems. Yeah, and the reason I do this, somebody's mentioned this. I actually learned this from a doctor because when I was younger, I used to put cotton swabs in my ears all the time, and it got pretty badly impacted, and I had to go to the emergency room because I couldn't hear out of one of my ears. And I was like, I think I've gone deaf. Help me. And they did a thorough examination. They put the little flashlight in there, like, ah, I see the problem. And then they took a syringe to my ear and they were like, Calix, you need to stop putting cotton swabs in your ears. I was like, oh, yeah. I learned it from a doctor. That's why I do it that way. It was their medical advice, and I've done it ever since. Mm. Oh my goodness. On that note, the pretty awkward topic to end on, but I have actually talked for longer than I planned to. I only planned to hang out for like a quick little hour with you today to try and hopefully make up a little bit for the fact that I can't stream normally. I'm struggling to leave my bed and sit up. I don't trust myself to sit at my desk right now. I would hate to like cause a scene or like worry you at all. So I hope this is I hope this is okay. Thank you for hanging out with me. It's really fun. It's an interesting format. It's really weird. I gotta say, I don't know if you can relate, but throughout most of this, I've imagined my usual BGM, like the dun 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 I've like heard that in my head, like elevator music just looping this whole time. It's weird to do this without my setup. I don't know that I would do this often, but I think a classic space can be pretty cool in a pinch. I mean, Twitter Space, my immersion. Thank you for picking up the phone. This has been a very fun phone call. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'm gonna let you go now, though. What was it I said earlier? Well, I'm gonna let you go. I know you're busy. No, I know you probably got a lot to look at, lots to watch. Sure, lots of other livers are going to stream this evening, so go check them out. Go support my friends, my coworkers. Have a wonderful day. Have a nice meal if you can. Okay. I hope that your next meal is extra tasty, be it breakfast, lunch, dinner, even just a regular snack. I hope that it's extra tasty. Treat yourself to something super yummy for me on my behalf because I don't know, I can't really do the kind of cooking I usually want to do, so I'm limited to like sandwiches right now. I might ask my mom to make some soup, not gonna lie. I love chicken noodle soup. Yeah, treat yourself to something yummy. I'll be living vicariously through you. Get something tasty and stay safe, okay? I'll see you again soon. I did work out my schedule for the rest of the week. I have to put it on. I was gonna say put it on paper, but I need to like make that little visual. I have to get you a printed ticket to look at. So I'll share my schedule with you soon. As for immediate future, so you know what to expect for the coming days. Uh, Tomorrow I will probably take off. If I stream, it'll be Gorilla. Just because tomorrow is a busy day. I have an appointment unrelated to like work stuff. You know, I've got my medical appointment in the morning. In the afternoon slash evening, I have an appointment with a friend to work on something important. And then in the night, I have a meeting with By the Beat. So it's a very stacked day. So if I stream, it'll be short and it'll be a Gorilla stream. So no promises for that, no expectations for that. Wednesday, though, I am definitely going to go live. I'll be playing Final Fantasy again, same day and time as last week. This Wednesday, 7 p.m. EDT, with same people as last week as well. I think there might be a couple new additions to our static as well. Some returners from the old classic Niji static, so pretty exciting. I really love Final Fantasy, and it's been really exciting to play with others. As for the rest of the week, I should have a collab on Thursday. I'm looking into maybe doing members only on Friday again this week. I don't know about Saturday. I haven't decided quite yet, but I'll try my best to figure that out soon. I have something written down, but I can't remember. Not gonna lie. Uh, yeah, again, I'll do my best.